What's another one you got over there?
Well, I got to go back to the band Nemesis. They released their album, The Quiet Resistance, at the end of last year. And this was kind of an album that really got me into the idea of female-fronted metal again. I had kind of drifted away from it. While you were listening to Nightwish, I was kind of resisting.
Yeah.
And this one really got me back into it. It actually made my top 10 for the year. The lead singer, Manda Ophius, whatever you want to, whatever.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just a strong female-fronted album. The music is heavy, and again, the symphonics, the orchestrated strings, that seem to be a common thread with a lot of the stuff we've been listening to.
Right.
But, they also have the male vocals to offset the female vocals. But what I really liked about it was that the lyrics aren't always really complicated. I mean, they're not writing a Drake song or anything, but they're honest. And I felt like all the lyrics had real emotion in them. It wasn't just, well, we're going to rhyme this word with this word because it sounds good. It felt like she was just being brutally honest in her lyrics,
Right.
which I thought was excellent. And I know I've mentioned this on our top 10 of last year, but the last song on the album is a song that they did with the frontman of Rammstein, which just capped the album for me. That was all I needed. Even if I had only kind of liked the album at that point, that song would have been like put it over the top. Like, it starts out with this beat that almost reminds me of the X-Files, and then all of a sudden the dude from Rammstein is doing his thing, and it was great. It was absolutely great. I don't have enough great things to say about him, and there's definitely a comparison to be made with Within Temptation. So if you like Within Temptation, this is a logical step, maybe a little bit heavier version, I would say, slightly. So Nemesis, Quiet Resistance, and Murmaider. What the fuck is next on your list?
The next one I'd like to mention is Lithian Dreams.
Oh.
Their 2011 album, Just Passing By, an unreleased Requiems. That's the one that I reviewed. And, I mean, this French atmospheric doom band is just... It blew me away from the time I heard it. And I know you did their newer album.
Yep.
And you enjoyed that as well, right?
Yes, very much.
I loved everything about the album, except the only thing I had an issue with in this album was the effects that they used on the vocals.
Yeah.
It was a little overdone, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Between like having too much reverb, too much delay. It just took away from the female vocals. She's so talented and has such a beautiful voice, and I just feel like it didn't need all that on top of it. But musically, everything fit perfectly in the album, and a lot of really good guitar riffs and guitar solos in it, and it was a very depressing album, but I really liked it.
I think she's got an absolute great voice.
Yeah.
Carleen von Roos, I believe is her name. Mm-hmm. She's got a great voice, and I think that what I like so much about the newest album, Season of Raven Words, I mean, you had been bothering me to listen to them, and I really liked that Just Passing By.
Right.
But I think the new album, they took a lot of the effects off of her voice and let her just sing clean. And she's got such a voice, it's so depressing, but so beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes the music so good. The music is so dark and slow, and then she's just kind of cutting through it all, and really great.
Yeah.
I definitely think everyone needs to check them out.
Well, what was another one you had over there?
Well, I wanted to go back to Sweden, because I don't think we spend enough time there these days.
We're going to go there right now?
Yeah, we're going to go right now.
Let's go.
We're on the plane to Sweden. And now I'm going to talk about Lapis Lazuli, which is a 6-piece band from Sweden. And again, symphonics, man. The band was started by their keyboardist, Timo Hotomaki, and he just surrounded himself with people who wanted to do the same thing, and they ended up with this great, absolutely great album. A Justified Loss is the name of the album. And again, just like with Nemesis and Lithian Dreams, you get a strong female singer, and you have something special to work with. So Frida Uranius is the singer, and she's just absolutely mind-blowing. And man, we use this Lord of the Rings thing a lot, but it's such a common theme in a lot of the symphonic metal. And they just do that so well. Horns and strings. The drums are absolutely pounding. Really, really impressive album. And some of it reminded me of kind of the heavier moments of Nightwish, but she also has kind of that delicate nature in her voice, like Sharon from Within Temptation, or as much as I hate to say it, even Amy Lee from Evanescence, has that little bit of fragileness in her voice, fragility, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's what really caught me about the album. And definitely, I mean, you can see I've already picked 2 bands with female singers just in this list alone, so it gives you an idea of how strong they are.
Yep.
Now, Murmaider, you got 2 more to go, so what's your next one?
Next one I'd like to mention is In Loving Memory, which I just recently talked about. And I mean, I had to put this one on the list. It's Negation of Life was the album title, and I really enjoyed this album front to back. I mean, the solos were amazing. All the different melodies, it was very depressive melodies, and a very sad album in general. But I mean, you're hit with vicious growling throughout most of the album, and it's a good mix up between like aggressiveness and calm, like beauty. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely would say to check this album out if you get a chance.
And we do have we have an interview with them coming.
Yeah, that's right.
On the way.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that. Trying to get some answers to some questions about the album and how the songs are written. Which I mean, everything like you had mentioned, a lot of powerful lyrics and a lot of powerful song titles in there, and you can tell it's a very personal album. So
absolutely.
Trying to get a little information on how that all comes to be.
Yep. Now, what was your 4th one?
I'm going to go with the band Morito Ergo Sum, doom metal band, of course.
Okay.
Because I feel like I need to mention some doom. They're also from Sweden, so while I'm in Sweden, I might as well hit them up for dinner or something. So I actually have reviewed 2 of their albums. Their initial demo/EP, which was called I Die Therefore I Am, which was just 2 guys at that point. It was Paolo Cito, who it was his band, and he got his singer/drummer, Walter Basile, and they just put out, it's just a couple songs of just pure doom. Just pure doom metal, traditional doom, but in a really melodic way. The instrumentation is very slow, very deliberate, but the vocals are melodic, almost like a Isol or Grey November, where the vocals are very melodic.
Yeah.
It had a lot of potential, but it wasn't quite there yet. They just released their new EP this past year called Moonchild, and that one just took it to a new level. They got a full band now, so they have a full array of musicians playing. They got a girl to play all the violins for the album, which was tremendous. Really meant a lot. And it's live violins. It's not programmed. It's not bullshit. It was all done really well. And then they covered the King Crimson song Moonchild, which was awesome. So definitely check them out if you're looking for the new wave of melodic doom. Paolo Cito and Merito Ergo Sum, definitely a place to look. So Murmaider, you got one more. I mean, I know what it is, but they don't know what it is. So what's your last one?
My last one is the band Illuminata.
Illuminata. Halodi Nata?
No. Illuminata.
Oh, sorry.
Not on the Ravens. The album is called A World So Cold, and I did that one a little while ago as well.
Yo, man, you sound straight up gangster. Yo, A World So Cold.
Warmed up. And yeah, I have to say this is just an amazing band, and it's funny because I was even reading through some of my descriptions, and again I even used the Lord of the Rings.
God damn,
it's just a great way to describe it. I mean, right off the bat, the intro, Ashes of Times, was the one that really got me with the orchestrated instruments and whatnot, and it was just such a powerful, epic experience to listen to, and I really enjoyed it. And then it goes right into Cold Hands, Warm Hearts is the name of the song, and it that one jumps right into fast-paced double bass drumming and heavy, fast guitar chugging, and it really gets you going. And what I liked about this album was that it went back and forth a lot between, the super fast, violent motions versus more of the calm side of things. I remember at one point of the album, it had this gorgeous flute, I guess a flute solo, I guess you could call it, or just this part that it had, and it was just amazing. It sounded so good, and they included a lot of piano in it and a couple other things. So I mean, I really enjoyed the way they did this album, the way they put this album together. it's very diverse with all the different instruments that they use.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, and it's actually kind of funny you say that, because the last band that I picked for the same exact reason, the diversity in the instruments.
Yeah.
I actually picked the band KO Dot. They're based out of Brooklyn, and I don't know what style of music I would call this necessarily, but with this one album, the new album is called Gamma Knife. Just, you look at the band alone, and let me just give you a little taste of the instruments on the album. This is just, there's 4 main band members, and then there's a couple people who chip in instruments. Okay, so here we go. We got bass, guitars, clarinet, keyboard, woodwinds, drums, violin, trumpet, synthesizers, French horn, more guitars, more bass.
Shit.
I mean, they got the full array of instruments.
You're running out of fingers.
Yeah, it's absolutely unreal. And it reminds me of the band Unexpect, because there's just so much going on, and you really, for me, it took 2 or 3 listens just to truly appreciate what was going on, because right in the middle of, a kind of sludgy metal song with, heavy guitars and bass, all of a sudden there's like jazz going on, that would stuff that would make like John Coltrane jealous, or Miles Davis. They'd be like, oh damn, just like that. They would make Drake go, I'm the greatest songwriter of our generation, and then hear this and go like, well, maybe not. But it's really, it's heavy, it's chaotic, it's everything all at once. Mm-hmm. And they actually have 2 side bands that are kind of related, Maudlin of the Well and Tartar Lamb, and those are just as good. So you should definitely check out KO Dot and their new album, Gamma Knife. So that's 10 more new bands that if you didn't know before, you should definitely check out now.
Yep.
And we actually have interviews coming with a lot of them, which is great. Try to get behind the music.
Yeah, check up on our follow-up to that.
Yeah, hold us to it, damn it. Hold us to it. So yeah, I mean, maybe if you guys know some new bands that we don't know about, let us know. We're always willing to look into stuff. We actually just got some emails in the last couple weeks from bands looking to, to have us listen to their stuff. Some interesting stuff to listen to.
Yeah.
So, help us out, bro.
Please.
Please, yes, please.
Please.
We should probably say please.
Yeah, let's be polite.
So anyway, another week, another podcast down,
Mm-hmm.
and just a couple reminders, as always. You should listen to Light and Darkness Radio, because that guy's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You should buy the sampler from our site.
Yes.
Because if you don't get it, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep.
You should check the site daily. You should like us on Facebook, like us on MySpace, follow us on Twitter, plus us on Google. I don't fucking know all that shit.
Blah, blah.
Yeah, we got all that shit, dog. We from the streets. The mean streets. And that's about it for me. Murmaider?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Yeah, that's about it for me too.